Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to another Hugo's Desk stream. Hope the sound is coming through fine. Apologies for the delay. I was a bit delayed on setting up everything for today. I've been very busy at work, and so it's been a bit tricky to get everything on board, but welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Today we have yet another Hugo's Desk honest showreel review. We're going to be reviewing three people today, three artists today. And don't forget, we always do these streams every week. So every 2 weeks we do the showreel reviews, and every 2 weeks we do the Nuke compositing streams. So today it's showreels, next week is compositing, and then every other week. So it's always every week here live, but then we change between compositing and reviews. Cool. So I guess before we get started, just let you know that as usual we're doing a giveaway, and so I've put it on the chat so that if you want to join my giveaway, this is a free copy of my Nuke course, which I have for sale right now. If you are interested on buying it as well, it is 60% off right now, and so if you want to be part of it, there's the giveaway. That's the link for it as well. I forgot to do one thing here, so I forgot one thing. Yeah, you have it on the screen, hopefully, so I'm gonna just put it on my screen. I've also put the link on the chat as well, so if you want to have it on the chat, there's a link there. So, for example, if you're watching this stream on your phone and you can't, of course, do a QR code of itself as well. So that's the link there if you are interested. Also, if you are interested on buying my course, right now my course is 60% off as well, just for this month. So this is the biggest discount I've ever had. So if you're interested on any of my Nuke courses, they are 60% off right now. And yeah, that's it really. Keep questions coming if you have them. And I guess before I even start, I just wanted to thank BenQ for supporting the stream. They are so lovely to always support the stream so much, and have been sponsors of the channel for a very, very long time. So thank you so much, BenQ, and thank you so much for being so helpful all the time. I'm gonna share with you a small trailer from BenQ just to give them an appreciation of them supporting the channel, and I'll be right back. It's very short, it's only 1 minute long. I'll be right back. Sorry. Thank you so much, BenQ, as usual, for supporting the stream. It's much appreciated, and it's always lovely to have the support from the team over there. And especially shout out to Vincent and to Rita. They're always supporting my endeavors so much. Okay, without further ado, let's just get going with the shows, because we have 3 reels to do today. So I'm going to start with a returning guest. I always tell everyone that if you have your reel and if you get a review and then you want to get the review again, maybe you updated your review and you want to return to the show, I always tell everyone that they can come back. And so that's what they did here. They came back with the reviewed show reel, and let's just have a chat with them and see how it goes. So let's just apologies for my throat. I'm a bit under the weather, so that's why I'm keep coughing a little bit. Apologies for that. Let's just see here. The first review is here. So let's start this first review and see where we are here. So give me a second because I'm setting it up here. Okay. Apologies. Like I told you all before, I'm doing this on Google Meets now, and it's just a bit different from what it used to be. So I need to like make sure everything is working fine. And yeah, I think it is working fine. Let's just have a look here and see. Okay, cool, excellent. So let's just see here. Give me a second. I'll be with you in a second. Okay, cool. Okay. I think everyone can see you and hear you. So hello, everyone. Hello there. Can you hear me? Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Just one second, because I think I forgot to put your. Yeah, go ahead. Say now.
Hello,
Yep.
can you hear me?
Yes, everyone can hear you. How
Oh,
you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me again in your review.
No,
I'm
it's not a
excited to be
problem.
here.
It's not a problem at all. So thank you so much for coming back. Can everyone hear Moses? Can everyone hear? Let me just see if the sound is. I'm gonna bump up the sound a little bit more. Can you speak up?
Yes, hello.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah. Now I heard you a little bit better. Okay, cool. Um, okay, cool. Well, I think people still remember your reel from last time, but why don't you give just a really short rundown of what you've been up to and what you do in case someone hasn't watched your reel before?
Okay, so I'll do a brief recap of what I've been doing. So the first time that I was reviewed by you, I was just out of school. I was still learning. I was even about just to finish your course. And after that you suggested me, I was like a little bit underwhelmed, because overwhelmed, I mean, because I couldn't land a job in Canada. I'm from Mexico. I felt like I was like really lacking skill. But you told me that sometimes it was timing and maybe it was a lot of luck, and it depends on many factors, and that you would recommend me to get some clients before applying for a big studio. And that's what I did. I partnered with, well, not partnered in a like in a formal way, but I was collaborating with an effects artist locally here in Mexico to leverage our skills as freelancers, so that way we could land bigger clients. And that's what it happened. So we've been working together with projects, and that basically put us in the radar here in Mexico. And because as a compositor, I want to focus in compositing. Like I enjoy doing 3D. I enjoy as a generalist, but if I want to be a specialist, I that's why that partnership was really key for me, because as a freelancer, I don't want to do everything. I want to partner up, become a team member of some, and yeah, just leverage the skills. And that's what it happened.
Oh, cool, man. I'm so glad to hear that, and I'm so happy that you've been doing some productions and some projects, and it's been going well. That's great to hear. I'm really happy to hear that. That's great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's doing good.
That's cool. And are you working at a facility in Mexico? Or are you working remotely with your colleague?
We're working remotely,
Okay,
but we
cool.
want to maybe expand later on. But as of now, we're just working remotely. We're from the same city, and sometimes I visit him, sometimes he visits me, but it's not like in a facility.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's so good to see. That's so good to hear. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy for both of you, and for you as well, of course. And again, thank you so much for returning to the stream and bringing back your updated showreel. I'm going to like share my screen so that you see the review. So never mind the stream because the stream is delayed. So I'll share
Okay.
my screen here, and so that you can see. Okay, let's just okay. Just give me a second. It's always a bit of a mystery how this works because sometimes I. Ah, here you go. Hopefully you see. Is that your dog?
Sorry.
Can you see? Can you see anything? Do you see anything?
I see a black screen.
Ah,
I
why
see
is
that
that?
you're presenting.
I am presenting, but that is surprising that it's black. I'm gonna stop presenting and just do. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of a technical problem here. Allow share window. That's what I want. Yes, please do. Allow share window, and then I want to share this window, but he doesn't do it. Why doesn't he do it? That's a good question, isn't it? You're presenting your screen and then it just goes black. That's great. Love Google. Google is great. Okay, so I'm gonna do this in a different way then, since I have to improvise a little bit. So I'll do this. So apparently it's not allowing me to do share the entire like one window only. So I'm gonna just share the whole screen and that's it, and that should work fine. So apologies for that. It should have worked, but it's apparently not working. Hopefully it works now. Yeah, now you can see my screen. Yeah, so not sure what happened there. So apparently it only works if it's like if it's the entire screen. That's fine. Thanks Google. Okay, cool. So that's your show reel. So I'm gonna just like run it. You see it, right?
Yes, I see it now.
Cool. So I'm gonna run it for everyone to see it, and I guess then we're gonna talk shot by shot, but tell me a little bit so that the audience sees as well a little bit about this show reel. Like, is this well? And by the way, congratulations for having the shot on the educational foundry show reel. You got one shot there. That was great. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
So, and which the shot I'm talking about is this one here. So that shot is part of the educational foundry showreel. So which was great. Congratulations on that. So
Yeah, I'm so
tell
happy it ended up there.
tell us a little bit about this. So first of all, you have this really cool thing. This is really nice. I like the way you're presenting this. This is pretty cool. A really nice touch. But tell us a little bit about this first shot. What's going on here?
Okay, so this first shot, it was for a bank commercial. They wanted to basically represent families, well, a family turning into the Christmas spirit. And when the client first approached us, he was like, okay, I want uh, an uncle from the family, well, the actor, to grow a beard. And we want it like in less than 20 days. Can you do it? And we were like, I don't know, but we'll do it because at that point we were super excited that we were approached by this client because it's quite a big bank here in Mexico. So it was okay, let's just like put our best into this. And well, we figured that having a head track could solve the problem. We used the keen tools. Well, I tracked the head and I used that data to give it to my colleague FX artist, and he did the simulation in Houdini, and then he rendered out, and I comped it back together here in Nuke. And yeah, I was we were scared of how we were gonna do it because even the actor didn't had markers, but we did some tests that could basically we can basically do it without markers, and also we had to specify the client that he had to shoot an HDRI because we couldn't fly there because something happened with the production, they couldn't fly us. But basically the HDRI was useless. but we got like good references from the actors, so we could um, redo the like model the head with the references using kin tools, because that was very crucial. If we didn't have the all the angles from the actor, I think it would have been much more trickier. So at least we got that correct. The HDRI was just like a nightmare, but that's why it was the lighting was trickier, but it turned out all right. I think.
I love that you're saying like, oh yeah, the HDR was pointless. It's like, okay, that's that's great stuff. Well, this is really well made. I think it's really good work. I can't really see any issues. I see the track is spot on. It's really well attached. You guys did a great job with the motion blur, and it's working really well. It's not even that noisy. It's quite clean with the hair, and I think that's you did a good job with the compositing. You did a good job with the shadow. Yeah, this is great. If anything, the only thing I would say is that from a creative point of view, it's nothing with you. It would have been nice if his hair would be white as well, because his hair should have turned white as well at the same time. The only thing that I would say is that out of when I look at it, really, if I go frame by frame, I do think that it's slightly delayed, the depth of field, the rack focusing catching up on when it focuses and when it's defocused. So I think you're slightly delayed for a few frames, because you see that there's quite a lot of defocus going on his face. I would think that your beard should have been more defocused at this stage, and then it would have sharpened. And I think when it goes back to sharp, I think you did good. I think it's just the beginning, but that's the only thing. And this is a really tiny thing, and it's not even important, because you never see it. It's so quick. So, but it's very well done. Very good work, man.
Thank you.
Very good
I
work. This
appreciate
is
it.
this is excellent work. Okay, is this commercial out already on the? Is it on TV or is it?
They were used in social media and
Ah, cool.
across their platforms. The very one, it was still in TV, on TV.
Ah, cool, excellent. Well done. Next one. So this one with the bear. This is the one that is featured on the Foundry educational show reel. So congratulations again for that. So
Thank you.
what's going on here? Like, I don't. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Was this shot also on the previous reel, or was just the bear? I don't remember seeing this one. Was this one or on there?
No, in the previous reel, I didn't have this shot because there was no breakdown, but I wanted to include it because I think it was, I don't know, I think it looks good
It
in a
does,
way.
yeah.
And also, it's like you said, commercial work that it's almost more valuable than student or personal projects. That's why I included it. And yeah, it was not there before.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely more important to have a commercial work for sure. It just gives us more gravitas, and it gives more, it makes your show reel more appealing to to people trying to hire you, because they see that you've worked before. So I think that I actually, if I'll be honest, I think I prefer your second shot with the bear. I think it's the first bear here. It is, if I would say, I think it kind of looks like it's a little bit too sharp for where he is. But I can understand that maybe the client wanted it quite sharp. So because the ropes are quite defocused and his face is a bit too sharp. If I look at the floor, is a bit defocused as well. So in reality, should be a little softer. But I understand that the client probably wanted the bear to be focused. But and the other thing as well, if a real bear would have been there when they would film, they probably would have pulled either a focus from the character to the bear, or they would have used a higher f-stop to try to have both of them in focus. So I think that's also something different, because the DOP, of course, when they filmed this, they had nothing there to match, So and so I think that's one of the only things that kind of comes across. The other thing that comes across to me is It's a shame that the animation of the bear is not a bit better, like in terms of him opening the mouth. But that's nothing with you. It's nothing, not your problem. I'm just like one, like it just like kind of like brings the shot a little bit down. But it looks cool, man. You did a good job with the roto and the keying. You did a good job with the cleanup as well, of bringing it back. Did you had access to a clean plate for this?
Yes, well, actually, I don't remember if we shot because I was there on set. I don't remember if we shot a clean plate for this one specifically,
Cool.
but we did for some of them.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Cool. Excellent. And then, of course, the next one, which is the one that is on the show reel. Yeah, good job. We already talked about this one last time. It's very well done. So it's all cool. Okay, so next up we have this one here. So tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
So here, really loud car passed by.
It's fine.
Um, Here, the client asked me if we can shoot something for their new platform, and that's like I thought that we could use a burn-in for the phone shot, and if we shoot it in green screen, well, all of this is shot in green screen, and we shot it outside
Mm-hmm.
because the day was cloudy, and at the end of the day, the final CG would be in a rainy day. So we found out that if we match the lighting already, it would be easier for the effects to integrate. So yeah, that's what we did. I did the burning, the green screen, and all of the integration, also the environment. And for the next shot,
Mm-hmm.
it's a it's not a matte painting because the mountains are basically one image, but it's a projection done in Nuke.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a little bit of rain effects and fog, and I kind of animated the water on the
Mm-hmm.
lake, which was a still image as well, from the same image projected into a like distorted mesh, simulating a little bit of a plane.
Mm-hmm.
But the movement, it's a bit subtle because if I exaggerated it, it would look very weird. But yeah.
Cool. So I really have nothing to say about the about. Let's start with the phone. I have nothing really not to say. I think it looks good. I like the way that you've integrated the reflection and also the droplets of water. That's really a nice touch. I think it's well tracked, good motion blur. I mean, it's a cast day, and at least I see a little bit of the reflection. If anything, if this was shot for real, most likely it would have been a bit darker, because when it's sunlight, the screens, not normally they don't become so bright, but I think it's, you want to see what's on the screen, so because it's a commercial, so I think that those situations they don't want to dim what's on the screen at all. But I think you did a good job. If anything, if I would say, maybe you could have like made a little bit brighter just the lighting interaction with the hand, just a little subtle rim going around the hand could have probably helped the integration. But this is a very minor thing. I don't really think it's that a bit of a big deal, but just wanted to let you know. And now, regarding the matte painting itself, I think you did a good job, but there's a couple of things. Like, first of all, there's like some glitches down here. So you have like some antilization glitches on the bottom here. If you go there, you see there's like some lines that are moving. This kind of looks to me like you're having some kind of antilization cutting problem with cards on Nuke or something. That's what it looks like. So this could be fixed if it's a card. Could be fixed with Z blending in between cards. That could be it, or improving the antilization options in the 3D system of Nuke. But it's happening throughout the entire edge there on the bottom, and it's shaking a little bit. So that's a little glitch that you have there. So that's one thing. Are these cards on Nuke?
Yes, they're
Yeah.
in Nuke.
Yeah. So you just have to like, and the bottom is another card, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you go to Nuke, there's an option where you can do Z blending between cards. And what happens when you do that is that the cards, when they touch each other, they blend the connection. So there's an
Oh,
option for that. Top of my head, I can't remember exactly where it is, but I believe it's on the scanline render that you have that option. But you can contact me on Discord. I can then send you like a screen grab of where it is. I can't remember the top of my head now, and I'm not gonna
yeah.
open
Okay.
Nuke now.
Okay.
But
Yeah, this is really useful.
yeah, but yeah, just contact me on Discord, and I can send you like a screen grab of where it is. I don't want to
Okay.
open Nuke now and go through
Yeah.
the thing of that, but yeah, go through that. So that's one thing, and the other thing is I think you did a good job with this, but there is something that is pulling my attention. So the guy is here, and if the DOP, the cinematographer would be here, he would be filming the person there. So and he would be focused on the person. So full sharp focus on this dude. And I have a feeling that this mountain here is actually sharper than him. So I feel like it's a bit strange that the DOP would focus the mountain instead of the person. And I think it could be solved. There's two ways of solving this. Apologies. You either defocus him more, which is gonna look weird. I wouldn't do that. I just think you need to if you would have done this again, because I know this is done, I would just slightly soften a little bit this matte painting on the back so that it would look a bit more blended. But I do think it's a very minor thing. The glitch is not a minor. I think you should fix it if you had the chance. But this thing here is just a minor thing. Now, in regards to the rain, looks very realistic. I think you did a good job with the key, with the roto. You also did a good job with the light wrapping. The light wrapping is subtle, simple, and not very overcoming, because a lot of people misuse light wrapping. So I think besides those two things, I think the shot looks terrific. So it's just those two minor things. So well done.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I might even talk to the client, and I think I can send them a newest version, especially the glitch. And yeah, I think the mountain I didn't notice it, but now I'm looking at it and it's very obvious.
No, I mean the mountain thing is okay because you could believe that maybe the DOP is focusing on the mountain instead of the person. That's okay. I mean it could have happened. The glitch is a different thing, but if this has already been delivered and it's already been done and they haven't said anything, I mean it's fine. I mean it's not a big deal. It's very very small. I'm watching this on a really big screen, so it's I apologize for noticing it.
No, no, no. That's
I'm just like saying that if this is going to be watched on a phone, no one is going to see it. But yeah, just this is an advice I give to everyone when they're working on this industry. Try to get a hold on the biggest screen you can get. I'm not even saying the screen needs to be very good. It doesn't need to be. I often have some crap monitors that are really really big just to watch stuff, and if I really want to watch something in detail, I could load it up to my projector. I have a 4K projector downstairs, and so I can load it into the projector and I can watch it on a big white screen. I have a projection screen, and so I can see it even bigger. It's often much easier to see it big and just really notice these things. Now, if you don't have access to a big monitor, whenever you're delivering something, my advice to everyone would be to just go through the entire shot section by section at like 200 or 400%. So just like zoom in on this quadrant, for example, and look in Nuke at 400%, play the whole shot, then zoom in on this quadrant, watch that, then zoom in on this quadrant, and just split in quadrants and watch all the shot before you deliver just in 400% or 200%. Because if you would have zoomed in, you would have seen this. If you would have zoomed in a lot, and obviously it also depends on the timing you have. It depends also on the budget. Like if you have very limited time and you're delivering something really quickly, you might not have time to do these things. But just something to keep in mind, because if you're going to in the future deliver shots for the cinema, for example, you need to be careful with these kind of things, because then also in the cinema you see it even better. You even see it even more. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, everyone, apologies for my throat thing. I'm just like I'm not. I think my throat is a bit scratched for some reason. Okay, so now here we have a commercial. No, this is it is a commercial, isn't it?
It's
Danny Ocean.
it's like a music visualizer.
Oh, okay. What is that? A music visualizer?
It's I think, well, the other days someone asked me the same thing, and I think the only difference between a music video and music visualizer is I think that the visualizer is meant to be like, do not have like a story or b-roll, just one static shot of, or just something like plays on the background. I don't know. I
I
don't.
see. I see. Yeah, like
I
the old visualizers from the 90s and the 2000s, where you would have music and then you would have graphics moving around. So I guess sometimes on video CDs you would have had slideshows and things like that. So I see what you mean. And
Yeah,
so
something like that.
what is the work done here? So you have crew hand imperfections clean up over 3,000 frames. Jesus. Okay. Explain a little bit what's going on here. So then.
Okay, so we got called by the producer or from for this visualizer, and he told us like, we need some cleanup work, but we need it for today, and it was like 9 a.m. So I talked with my colleague and I asked him like, okay, yeah, let's do it. But it was something I reviewed in my head of how I was going to do it, like maybe 10 times before I said yes, because I didn't want to promise anything before actually doing it. But yeah, I managed to convince the client to get it for the next day
Okay, cool.
and instead of the same day. So that's what I did, because I wanted to check some things. I already knew how to do the cleanup, and also since it was a static frame, I mean a static shot, I think it would be much easier. But still, I did some tracking and for the cleanup in the edge of the mirror, and then
Mm-hmm.
tracking for the crew, well, the mirror as well, because the crew hands were under reflection. But it was tricky because the door was moving, and the mirror was moving, and the mirror is like a semi-spherical mirror, so it distorted a lot. So I managed to um, do a track that was not that obvious for the crew, and for the hair it was just a couple of frames that I had to paint out when it was going into the lens. And yeah, I think that was basically it.
Cool. I must say, like, it's good work and it's cool that you've done a project like this, but I'm not entirely sure this breakdown you have here is really showcasing very easily what was done, So it's I guess it's tricky because it's such a long shot. You zoomed in. I don't think there's any other way of doing it, but it is at first glance when you watch this, it's quite tricky to understand what's going on. But now that you've explained it, I think I understand it better. But just one quick question. So we see two people. We see the girl and we see the man. Like, is it during the shot they swap, or is it two different shots?
Oh, it's the same shot, they just swap. But
Oh, they go in and out of the bathroom or something. Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see. I see. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, it's good work. I mean, I don't really see any issues, and I can understand that this could be quite tricky because even when something is supposed to be a static shot with locked off camera, often it doesn't really get locked completely, and sometimes it moves a bit, and sometimes it shakes a bit. There's always stuff that you need to take care of. So this is really good work. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So next up we have RM music video. So look development, glowing man look, and integration particle effects. Tell us a little bit about this.
So again, the director of this I mean, not commercial, music video, um, reached to us, and he wanted basically to integrate a glowing man with the singer,
Mm-hmm.
because he wanted to be like a dream like a state video. The music video is called REM, which stands for rapid eye movement,
Mm-hmm.
which is where when we dream, I think.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the intention of the music video. And here what I did was to basically make the man glow. I didn't do the roto, but I took the roto of the morph suit of the girl who was standing in, and also I kind of recreated a specific effect the director wanted, and I really relied a little bit the singer, because on set there were lights uh, hidden behind the morph suit and hidden underneath the sheets of the bed. And I did some particle effects just to make it a little bit more. I don't know. That was an artistic choice. I did the particles in Nuke, and also the lens flare.
Mm-hmm.
I I was a little bit of. It was like a creative decision. If how would the lens flare look if a glowing man was actually there? And I figured that I some lens flares have like its own figure. Like if this man was like a directional light with the shape of a man, it would look the same but inverted. But I did that and it didn't look it looked distracting. So I decided to make it a circle, and I did
Okay.
it for those three shots. And
Yeah. Looks cool, man. This is highly stylized, and it's well made. Like they had sub. I'm guessing they had like a really strong light on set, right? Where this
yes.
person was. Was there anyone sitting there, or is it just like you put it in there later?
Oh yeah, there was a morph suit sitting in there.
With and then there was LEDs or something. How was that made?
So basically, the the girl who was sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
she had like LED bars, but not across her whole body, just hidden between her arms and legs, kind of like uh, how do you say, uh, lighting him.
I
And
see.
actually, that was I talked to the DOP. Well, the DOP approached to me and he told me, "How do we do this?" And I was like, I was a bit nervous, but I told him, "Okay, we need to light it from that point," and we had to improvise with some LED bars that were available for us.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool. It looks great. I mean, I think it looks great. I think you did a good job. I like the little particles and the grain and everything, and of course the lighting interaction is spot on because the lights were there. So yeah, this looks cool. It's a very stylized form, but this is quite nice. I like these shots. These shots are cool. And okay, cool. And then I don't think these were here before, were they? On the other reel you had? I don't think they were.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
these
yeah.
are new as well.
These are new as well. Yeah, it's very, very, very nice lighting. Um, okay, then after that we have the material from the course. I think we've discussed this before. I believe so. So, like I think like we've discussed last time, as soon as you get more production, just start getting rid of all these shots so that you can have a single show reel with just shots of your work, you know. So this is looking good. You've now placed, yeah, so this is all good. It even shows the shapes as well. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
We talked about this shot before as well, didn't we? So
Yes.
yeah, it's looking great. Yeah, but yeah, like we discussed last time, I think as soon as you can, remove them. I
Yeah.
think from all the shots that you have here in personal work, I definitely, the first ones that I would remove would be the D-Love thing, and then of course I think the Roto thing as soon as you can, and then potentially you could still keep this one because it's a nice exercise. And I also like your underwater thing. This is really nice as well. So you could keep them for a bit longer. Of course, at some point when you get more work, then of course you get rid of them as well. But I think those are nice. You know, they like look like production shots. So I think that's cool. Cool, man.
Thank you.
Very cool. Your show reel is so much better than last time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that. Oh, sorry. There's another thing here at the end. I don't know.
Oh, it's the same shot at the beginning, but with the
Oh, I
context.
see. I see. I see. So that's part from Breaking Bad. I see. I
Yeah.
see. So, before we go, anything else that you would like to discuss or talk about or anything?
Well, not really. It was pretty. I'm pretty glad that you received me again in your show and reviewed the reel,
Of
and
course.
I'm really thankful for your advice because I that's what I've been kind of like having as a mantra. Like, okay, let's do more commercials, let's get more clients, let's start getting real work. And sometimes as a freelancer, kind of like your mindset can get lost, but this helps a lot, and this helps to really focus on what I like and what I want to do. And thank you for that.
No, no problem. My pleasure, and thank you so much for joining as well. I'm gonna just like stop sharing my screen for a second here. And yeah, you're always welcome on the show. You can return as many times as you want, and thank you so much for coming back. It's always really cool to see the evolution of a reel, and also to get to talk to people later on. I think you're like the third person that does this, that comes back as well on the show. I think the third or the fourth. So you're always welcome, and if you want to come back in a couple of years when you have a lot of really awesome work and awesome films and everything, just come back and show us all about it, you know.
Of
Um,
course.
but yeah, but thank you so much for coming by. So yeah, I'll leave you to it then. If you have no other questions, I'll talk to you later. Just connect to me on, like, just message me on Discord, and I'll let you know where to find the Z blending thing on the scanline render. And yeah, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Have
See you
a
later.
great day too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So, okay, so one done, two to go. We still have two more reels to do today. Just wanted to like take the opportunity to thank. Let's see here. The name is quite small. Sorry, I need my. I need like. I need new glasses. They are. This is really tiny. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I wanted to thank Sandpan Mitra for becoming a member of YouTube. Thank you so much, Mitra. Thank you so much for that. So Sandipan Mitra. I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. So they have become the members. So their name will become part of the YouTube of the podcast credits, and whenever I do a video as well. So your name will show up on the credits. Congratulations! You're supporting the show, supporting the YouTube channel. I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so we're gonna do a small break, and then we'll come back with the next showroom review. So don't forget, if you want to have the giveaway, that's the giveaway. That's the giveaway. Sorry, I was putting the wrong one. I'm putting the QR code on the screen, but I'm also like putting the link on the description on the chat. So make sure you go there and check that out. And yeah, I guess we'll come back in 10 minutes. As always, we do a break in during 10 minutes, so you can put your clocks. And then when we return, we have two more show reels to go through, and then we do the giveaway at the end of the two show reels. So don't forget to stretch your legs, drink a bit of water, and I'll be right back. See you all very soon. I forgot to put my break thing. So I hope to see you all very soon. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you soon. Okay, we are back. Hope you've all stretched your legs. I hope you all drinked something, some drinks, some water, stretch your legs, rested your eyes. We're going to continue with the honest show reviews. Thank you so much for still being here. Just a quick reminder that this stream is brought to you by BenQ. So thank you so much, BenQ, for supporting the stream so much and always being so helpful with the support to the channel. Don't forget that we do these streams every week, but we alternate between the topics. So next week it's going to be compositing, and then the week after showreels, and then compositing again, and then showreels. So next week we will continue the compositing workshops we're doing on the Nuke Disc Construction series, and today we're going to continue the Honest Show Review series. There is, of course, as you already know, a giveaway at the end of the stream. You can, of course, use that QR code if you want, or if you want, you can use this link if you prefer. So I also would like to thank Raj. I think it's Raj. Thank you so much, Raj, for becoming becoming a member on YouTube. Your name will now be part of the next podcast and the next videos that we do. So congratulations for being part. And also, thank you so much for supporting the channel. It's great. It's really good to have your support. Apologies for my throat. I am a little bit under the weather. That's why I keep coughing. So apologies for the ones listening with the headphone. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Before we go, there was someone asking about what was going on with that. So this is a Spider-Man lamp. Now, I don't have my mobile camera ready because it's packed. I was doing something on set, so I don't have it here. So I can't show you a close-up of that, but that's the camera that I'm talking about. I don't think you can see it on... Can you see it on that camera? I don't think so. No, you can't see it. I think maybe on this one. You see it on just on the corner there. That's the Spider-Man lamp. Do you see that? So, I mean, I don't think anyone can see it. So I found it on Amazon. I didn't know where it was bought because this was a gift from Anna, from my wife. But as you can see, that's the lamp I have over there. It's a really cool lamp. I really love it. And it was a gift from Anna. It was amazing. I'm so happy for this gift. and that's what you are checking. Someone was asking about that. Again, I'm not sponsored by this lamp, okay? I'm not supporting it. I'm not sponsoring it. I just wanted to let everyone know because someone was asking about it. Okay, so let's move on to the next review. So next up we have... Let's see here. So let's see if they are here. And if they are here... we are going to go and call them. So just give me a second. Okay, let's just gonna copy this thing and see if that works. Give me just a second. I'm just like booting up the meeting, and hopefully they're here and we can start talking with them. Okay. Let's see here. So it's not here. Join. Gonna go and join. Apologies, Google Meet is different. I used to use Zoom and I'm starting to regret swapping. It's not been easy. It's not been easy at all to use a Google Meet. It's been much more tricky than it should be, you know. But I've learned now. Okay, so I think they're here. Let's just have a look here. So, okay, cool. Yeah, I think they're here. Let's just see here. Can you hear me? Oh, sorry. 1 second. Sorry. Now go ahead.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I think I have. Let me just give me 1 second. I need to like put the sound a little bit lower. From my side, apologies for that. Just 1 second. Where is the sound? Where is the sound? Here you go. So, okay. So, are you joining us just with sound, or are you joining us with web as well?
Oh, just audio
Okay, cool. No problem. Not a problem at all. Just like wondering.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so how do I pronounce your name? I'm sorry.
It's Seenu.
Seenu. Okay, just
Yeah,
Seenu. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Seenu, for coming in to the show and for presenting a showreel. I am so
Thanks for
grateful
having
for
me.
you. Yeah, of course, not a problem. So I'm going to put your showreel on loop, well, so people can see it. Now, this is going to be a first. It's the first time ever that we got a vertical showreel. Just wanted to we never got a vertical showreel. So this is, and of course on the chat, please do let me know that we can hear everyone. Oh, it's still too high. Okay, I'm gonna lower it then. Sorry, I'm just like asking the chat if the sound was too high, and I'm gonna just lower by 2. Yeah. Okay. Chat. Let me know if the sound is still too high. Otherwise, I can lower it again. Okay. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna just loop your showreel, and at the same time, I'm gonna put myself here as well, so people can see it. Okay. So everyone is watching a showreel. It's looping. I don't have music or audio on it because I don't want to be flagged on YouTube. But
Yeah, that's okay.
while we're looking at your work, which is a first for Hugo's desk, the first vertical showreel, so which is awesome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell
So,
us your name, where you're calling from, what you do. Yeah, give us a little bit of an intro.
yeah, so first of all, thanks for having me here. I'm really excited. Uh, so I'm from India. My name is Seenu, and I'm a student. Uh, I'm doing some freelancing work and stuff like that. So I'm more like a 3D artist, no, more like a generalist. So yeah.
Cool. And so this showreel that we're watching, is it like the result of work that you've done, or is it like work, professional work, or is it just personal work?
So everything in my showreel, it's all my personal work that I made in my learning process. So just experimenting with different composition techniques and lighting techniques. So I just wanted a review on if I'm going in the right direction or like that.
Of course, no, not a problem. I'll share my screen in a second. So when right now, people are just watching the reel in loop, but I'll share my screen in a second so you can see my mouse and we can go through shot by shot. But for now, I just wanted to start with a quick chat with you before we do that. Um,
Okay.
Someone on the
So,
chat is asking if it's Blender. So could you go into detail what kind of softwares they're using?
yeah, I use Blender, Marvelous Designer, Unreal Engine. Yeah. For
Cool.
now, I'm learning these softwares. I'm also into ZBrush and uh, yeah, I'm into ZBrush
You
also.
what do you use to composite your shots?
After Effects.
Ah, cool. Excellent. And what's your plan right now? How long are you still a student? How when are you gonna start working professional, looking for work?
So I still have a course running. It's around 1.5 years. So after completing that, maybe I'll start working. For now, I'm just doing some freelancing work. Just a very few of them. So for now, I'm kind of exploring different aspects. So I'm not yet sure about what to choose. For now, I'm like more like a generalist. You know.
Okay. And what are your what? I must ask you, not there's nothing wrong with that, but is there a reason why your showreel is vertical? Could I ask that?
Uh, I'm so sorry about it. It's just that my sequence settings was changed when I exported it.
No, no,
So
it's not a problem at all. Like I
yeah,
thought that you did it vertically because it's easier to put in shorts on YouTube or put it on TikTok. Was it because of that?
no, no, no. It's not because of that.
Okay, okay. I thought it was. So that's why. Oh
Okay.
man, you've missed an opportunity to say yes. It was because of that. You'd have said yes. I'm trying to do a showreel for TikTok and all that. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen real quick here with you so that you can see what I'm doing and also that everyone can see as well. So So just give me 1 second. So hopefully you see my screen soon. Let's see here. So just a second. It's always a bit. This Google thing, I need to like go back to. I think I need to go back to Zoom again, because this is just not working for me. Okay, so share screen. It's so so overcomplicated. Like everything on Google, it's so overcomplicated. Okay, do you see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Excellent, excellent. That's what I wanted. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna just put it on full screen here, and okay, cool. You still see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So excellent. Okay, cool. Apologies for that, everyone. It's a bit Google is a bit naff. Okay. So it's so much easier Zoom, but Zoom is so much more expensive. So that's why I was trying Google, but I think now I understand why Zoom is more expensive, because it's a better product. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what's going on. So now you can see, never mind what's on the stream, because it's like 20 or 30 seconds delay. So
Okay.
I'm sharing my screen so that you can see my mouse. Hopefully you see my mouse. Do you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
So hopefully you see my mouse, and then we can review shot by shot. So tell us a little bit about this. So what's going on the first shot? Give us a little introduction to this shot.
Yeah, so I was just trying to create a cinematic composition. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what did you do on this shot? Did you do everything?
So I was responsible for all the aspects except few of the props that I've used as asset.
Okay. And you did rendering on Blender and then composited in After Effects, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I must say, this shot is great. Really well done. I really like the cinematography, the look, development, and the lighting that you've put into the shot. It does look very pretty. It looks very beautiful. In terms of the grain that it has and the composition, it's a wonderful shot. I think you did great.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Now, the only thing that I think you could do, extra, and these are extras. I think the shot looks lovely, and I think you did a great job. I think, if anything, maybe consider lighting up a little bit more inside the vending machine, because sometimes the vending machines have little spots of light. It would have been nice for it to have a little bit more light inside. I think that would have looked nice. And maybe perhaps even the pings, like the pings of light on this shot, both the lights on the neons and the shops, and also the walk light, they could have been more punchy in terms of glowing, but this is a compositing thing, really. I think in terms of composition, lighting, and I guess I forgot to kind of ask you this on the beginning. Do you want to be a generalist, or do you have a specific specialization that you would like to do in 3D?
So yeah, that's what I'm really confused about. Like I really love this concept of generalist where I could do everything. Uh, but I'm more into art surface modeling and also want to be a FX artist. So
Okay.
I think I still have time to explore.
Of course
So
you do. Of course, you don't need to choose now. I mean, and also it really depends on what you're going to do in the future, if you even have to choose. Because if you end up working as a generalist, then you will do everything. But if you end up working on a film company, like especially a film company, a big film company, like a DNEG or a frame store or an MPC or like something like that, or an ILM, then you will be specializing either on lighting or modeling or FX or on just one thing. Although you still know how to do other things, but inside the company, you will only do one thing, So that's normally what happens. That's why I was asking. Now, in terms of, I also like, I really agree with what the chat is doing. Like Studio Davis saying on the chat, Horo is saying the grain is beautiful, but then Studio Davis says maybe a little optical imperfections. I do think that is correct. It would have been nice if you could start thinking about having a little bit of lens distortion, very subtle chromatic aberration, things like that, a little bit, at least this lens distortion. Depth of field looks beautiful. In terms of you showcasing this, it would kind of be nice to see maybe a turntable of what you've done. That would have been nice, I think. Not that you need to do, but maybe think about that, doing that sometimes in some shots.
Sure.
Yeah, but from a aesthetic point of view, it looks great. So let's move on to the next shot. Next shot up, it's this one. So tell us a little bit about this shot.
Same. I was just experimenting with different composition techniques and lighting stuff and all.
Yeah. You have a good talent for lighting, my friend. So you should consider being a lighting artist, because you do have a specific flair for it. I mean, if you look at this shot, very well composed in terms of composition and lighting. The previous shot was the same thing as well. You have like a natural good eye to make a good shot. So that's a very good skill to have a good eye for composition, and for lighting.
Thank you so much.
So I think you should continue on that path for sure. At least improve more and do more. This is a lovely shot, very artistic, very looks like one of these sci-fi films. Maybe there's like a sci-fi ship inside, or a portal or something. It's really nice.
Thank you.
If anything, the only thing I would say is that the previous shot had a lot of detail, and I'm missing a little bit of detail. Like if you look at your raw pass with the texturing diffuse only, you actually kind of have a lot of green and a lot of trees and a lot of detail in terms of texturing. And I think your lighting you're losing a lot of it. It's almost like it's becoming very monochromatic, and I think that has to do with you have this source of light, and I think you have a lot of fog. It would have been nice if you still could see some more detail, but this is a very small gripe. I think from a look development and a look and feel, I do think it looks nice. The same comment that Studio Devis said on the previous shot, I think would still be on this one as well. I would really recommend you to try to experiment with lens distortions and more achromatic, like more optical imperfections, to do those things. Now, let me ask you one thing. When you comp these shots in After Effects, are you controlling the composite with different layers and AOVs and passes, or are you just like rendering from 3D?
So sometimes I use multiple passes, the OpenEXR this thing, but sometimes I just use the final render and try to comp it.
Okay.
So I'm very basic in compositing, so I don't have much knowledge in that. So I just do a basic color grading.
I would really, really recommend you to go deeper, because if you want to be a successful 3D artist, you definitely should know Nuke. Okay, and I'm not saying that because I teach Nuke. I'm just like saying that because Nuke is the industry standard. Now, as a 3D artist, don't waste time with rotoscoping and keying and all those things. Just focus your attention inside of Nuke to how to process the AOVs, the passes, the like the lens distortions, and also how you do color correction. And also focus your attention into how you use cryptomats. Like, you'll see that your shots will improve so much. And there's two reasons. One of them, of course, is because they'll improve. The shots will look better. Because After Effects, I started on After Effects. That was the first compositing software I started using in 1997. That was the first one. And so I used, for 10 years, from 1997 to 2006, for 9 years, I used After Effects. And then I reached the limitation, and then I had to move to a node compositing application so I could improve my shots. So that's number one, is to improve your shot. Number two is because if you want to be hired on a company, a 3D artist today, right now on the industry, is expected to know Nuke. The 3D artist doesn't need to know Nuke in detail. They don't need to know everything in Nuke. They just need to know at least how to load the shot, do a few things, and put out the shot. Because a lot of times the 3D artists in the industry prepare pre-composites for the compositing team. A lot of times that happens, especially if you become a lighting artist. It is expected of you of preparing the comps to the compositing team. It is expected. So I would really advise you to start messing around with Nuke, you know.
Sure. I'll look through it.
Yeah, I would advise you to do that. There's a free version, which is the non-commercial version. You can load that up and test it and see how you feel. If you don't like Nuke, you could always use Fusion. That's also very similar to Nuke.
Yeah.
You know, but anything that has to do with node-based would be better. But obviously Nuke is industry standard, so it would be probably a better choice. But yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, great shot. Congratulations. So let's move on to the next one. So tell us a little bit about this, the Spider-Man shot.
I made this animation very earlier, so it's not that good, but I really loved that dolly zoom kind of thing I made, so I kept this shot.
Yeah, it does look cool. I really like the dolly as well. Now, I must say that the shot right now is lacking detail, so it's almost... Don't get me wrong, and I hope you don't get upset by what I'm going to say.
No worries.
But this shot right now is not even looking as good as the actual Spider-Man game on the PlayStation 5. Even that one has more detail. So you're lacking detail. I'll give you examples. You're lacking detail on these metal bars. They need more detailed scratches and more detailed ribbons, and you know, they just need to like have dirt on them and maybe little pieces of the metal being broken up, and sometimes you even have little pieces of parts of the metal that are forming with rust. You know, it just needs detail on that tower. The tower is way too clean, and it looks like a very clean asset from like a PlayStation 3 game or something. Then the other thing as well is your background. I do love your dolly. The dolly the dolly focus is really nice. The trombone effect that you have on the camera, but the detail of the city in the back is not broken up. You know, the city looks like a still. It doesn't have. When you do a dolly effect like this, I can clearly see stretching of the actual dolly effect from where Spider-Man is, and also this building here. But then I don't see it on the other buildings. You would have to cut out all these buildings and have them in 3D layers in depth, so that they would also do the trombone effect. You know. So I'm missing that, and I think that's very easy to fix. You just cut out all the buildings and just put them on layers, and then just... or you can go... You said you know Unreal. You can always go to Unreal, get a city there, and actually have a 3D city there, you know. So that would be quite nice. And... Last thing but not least is that this rooftop needs more dust. You know, like you would have little pockets of dust and debris that would be filling in the corners of this window, on the corners of the, you know, because with the wind and the years of neglect, no one would come here to clean. You'd need to have some kind of dirt and grunge happening on the floor. Some people on the chat saying the same thing. As well. So yeah, but it's a nice shot, a nice idea, but I do think that you need to like improve this shot. It's not as good as the other ones, you know.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, people on the chat are saying the same thing. Nub is saying get more grunge on the rooftop, just get rust on the metal. Mikhail says, you can use even Blender for compositing, but industry standard software must be known if you want to be in the industry. Mikhail has a point. Mikhail also talks about add lens distortion and anamorphic bokeh to the shot. He's with a smiley. I think, and of course also what he says, flak painting and rust underneath. That would be nice. Thank you so much, Mikhail, for giving so much feedback, and
Yeah.
Mikhail, I do apologize that I can't see your reel today, but I already have 3 today. But you are first in line for the next one. So in 2 weeks, you'll be the first one to be reviewed. I just couldn't fit in a 4th person. I never do. I only do 2 always. And this time I'm doing 3 this week. So I can't do a 4th one. So apologies that it was a bit too late for you to come in today. Okay, so
Yeah.
next up, we have this. So what's going on this shot here?
So this shot is from an unfinished short film that I was working on.
Okay.
I couldn't complete the short film, but this is one of the shot from it.
Cool. It looks nice. Again, you have a really good flair for composition, lighting, and just overall look. So I think you did a good job.
Thank you.
I like the bouquets. I like the anamorphic things. If anything, I would
Yeah.
say is that the animation is a bit stiff. I
Yeah.
do think that he should be moving a bit more relaxed and move maybe a bit quicker to put the cigarette in the mouth and then move it. His head should be a bit more natural as well. So
Yeah.
it's a bit stiff in terms of him moving the head, moving the finger. It's a bit robotic. You need to like put an extra layer of relaxation, because this person is on watching TV, he's at home,
Yeah.
it should be a bit more fluid, the movements. And then
Okay.
besides that, I think the smoke as well, when you see, especially when he brings the cigarette out of the mouth at the end, that's really robotic because it's like a linear motion. So you see, it just moves it to the side. No one really does that. Like when they smoke, they just move out or move in, and
Yeah.
they don't become so stiff. And also the smoke, I think, because he still has his mouth is there, he would puff the smoke out. I'm not so sure if the smoke would just be only on the top. I would think that it would still be on a bit on the side, but that's of course a little detail. But I think I know you're not an animator, of course, but just letting you know that the animation is bringing this shot down because it's a bit stiff. Because you did the animation yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. On these kind of situations, a bit like the last reel review that I was doing with Moises, with Moreno, it's always good for you to get collaborating with people, So maybe if you could find an animator that a friend of yours, they could animate this, and then you could be doing the lighting and rendering, compositing, and then both of you would have the shot for the showreel,
Yeah.
Because the animation is a different world. Okay, so it's very uncommon that a generalist does animation because animators usually only animate. It's an art of its own, It's very rare that someone does lighting, rendering, modeling, and animation. That's incredibly rare. So I would really consider to get someone else to help you because normally on a company that would be what would happen. The animator won't do anything else except just animate,
Okay.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the tank here. What's going on here?
So I modeled the tank. So
Yeah, you modeled the tank and then the character
yeah.
you modeled, or is it
No, no,
an asset?
no, not the character. Just
Okay,
the
cool.
tank.
And so it looks nice, but if you model the tank, I would like to see maybe a different angles. Maybe do a turntable, or maybe put some movement into it. I think a turntable would be nice. I like the studio look that you have here. That's nice. So maybe do a turntable in this environment, and maybe, or if you don't want to do that, maybe if you could just do a little small movement. Maybe have the tank stop a little bit, move a little bit, stop, and then maybe the cannon rotates a bit, something like that. And then I know you would need to rig the wheels and rig the cannon, but it would just give it a nice touch, the shot. But in terms of modeling, I would really want to see a turntable because it looks to me, and I might be wrong, it looks to me like it's a bit too simplistic. I can kind of see that you're
Yeah,
maybe
like to be
missing
honest,
detail, on the
yeah, yeah,
tank.
yeah. To be honest, I didn't add much details to it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe consider adding more details and more geometry and more breakup and just
Mm-hmm.
regularly tanks usually have a lot of things. Are you
Yeah.
modeling this against a real tank or did you invented a tank?
No, I got a blueprint, so
Hmm.
I used that as a reference and I modeled this
And does the
tank.
real tank is it clean like this? Is it like straight the
No,
board here, or does it
no,
have
no.
little small things and details and
Yeah, there are a lot of details, but
yeah.
I yeah,
Yeah. So then you need to start putting in, your normally tanks have like little ribbons, rivets, it has like little screws and it has little
yeah,
metal parts and metal compartments and little hanging little connections and just put as much detail as you can so that it looks, but of course follow the blueprints and try to get some nice reference photos from the tank
okay,
and then try to follow what's on the reference photos and then just add whatever detail it's on those photos. So that would be my first step, would be to find this tank for real in a photo.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you
okay.
remember the name of the tank?
I think it was Tiger Tank.
Tiger tank? Okay. I'm gonna just like real quick just see here. So let's have a look. Tiger tank. Is it just that? Tiger tank? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think I found it here. Okay, cool. So let's see here. One of those here. So it would be this one here. For example, this is a good. Is it that one? Is it that one? Could it be that one? Oh yeah, it is. It looks similar. Not really. It doesn't really look similar. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'll just bring whatever, and then you can. These are not real. A real photo. Let's see a real photo of one. Uh, yeah. So for example, that one. Just. This is a poster. Okay. I always don't like use posters because they might not be a real photo. I just wanted a real photo of it. Yeah, there you go. Now we have a real photo of it. Okay, cool. Just 1 second. Yeah, yeah. You see, like, I think you're just missing detail. Well, not only detail, but also maybe a little dirt and little. You're missing like little
yeah,
ribbons, and you're missing like little compartments and little things, and just overall just detail, extra stuff that I would put. But I don't
yeah.
think it's this tank actually. I don't think it's that tank. It doesn't look like the same tank. No, because that your tank has a cover. So yeah, yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. We don't need to do it now, but just try to see if you can find your exact tank on a photo, and then just try to recreate it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure, not entirely sure if it's this exact tank. It might not be. Um, yeah. But you see, like, there's like cabling and there's like things sticking into the side here. Yeah, just
Yeah.
as much detail as you can. You know, that would
Okay.
what would be my advice. And a
Okay.
turntable, I would definitely do that. And then when you do a turntable, also show the topology of the modeling that you've done,
Yeah.
so that they can
Yeah.
see how you created the different sections and how do you topologize the tank. That's really really
Okay.
important for someone looking at the skills that you have of modeling.
Okay.
I would really advise, if you like doing these kind of modelings, advise you to look at the streams on Twitch of Andrew Oxton. Andrew is a DNEG modeler, a hard surface modeler, really famous
Oh
one
yeah, I
on
know him.
Twitch.
I know
Yeah,
him actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
See his streams on Twitch. He's
Yeah.
always modeling really complicated crafts and tanks and
Yeah.
things like that. He's great with that, and he always gives
Yeah.
a lot of feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Okay. So this is great. This is such a nice shot. Very atmospheric. Tell us a little bit about this.
So I modeled the house, entire house. So I want to create something like try to replicate the old, what do you say, that stock kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I really see that you've put the Kodak photo and everything. It's
Yeah.
great. It looks great. This looks like I said on the beginning. You have a really natural talent for lighting, and
Thank you.
for look development. This is a really pretty shot that you made here. Looks like out
Thank
of
you.
a film, like out of a horror film or out of like a sci-fi film somewhere. It's really, really well done, and I like the choice
Thank
of
you, sir.
lenses that you have here. You have a very
Yeah.
flat lens, a very long
Mhm.
lens filming
Yeah.
this, which is really nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very, very well done. Again, really like the grain. Yeah, it just that just you know yeah, I do think people on the chat are saying as well, you should really definitely focus on lighting and lighting development, because you have a really, really talent for that, and
Oh,
that is rare.
okay.
Not a lot of people have that. Most people
Sure.
most people on the industry don't really know how to light a shot, and that's why you usually have directors and art directors and supervisors, because those people are the ones that do those things, and then the artists just follow orders. But you already by yourself are already making some pretty shots, and so that's already a great starting point.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on here with this cloth
So
simulation.
these are some product renders I made.
Cool.
So
Is this Blender as well?
yeah, it's Blender.
Cool. And then you have the yeah. I really like your product placement. Those are nice.
Okay.
Again, the same advice would go back. I think it would benefit for you to use an application like Nuke, where you could really play around with chromatic aberration and with lens distortion and optical artifacts, and also work in the depth of field in a more natural way, because the depth of field node tools in Nuke are more powerful than After Effects. I think it would really help your shots to make them nice.
Okay.
And I think you did a really good job with these product shots. They look like just like any other product shot that I usually see. The only thing that I think is bringing your shot down is your cloth simulation. I think the cloth simulation is a bit strange, mainly
Yeah.
because it's I can't really tell what it is. Is it plastic? Is it leather? Is it soft? Is it hard? It's very hard to understand, especially when you pull cloth like this, then the product would fall down. It wouldn't have stayed there. So I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not
It's kind
entirely
of.
sure if I think this is working.
Mhm.
Go for it. You're gonna
So
say something.
that's a leather material.
It's leather.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It's looking more like chocolate at the moment. So you need to like. I would definitely either revisit this and make a better simulation, maybe with silk or a
Yeah.
more semi-transparent fine tissue. I think
Hmm.
silk or semi-transparent cloth would be nicer than a thick
Yeah.
leather like this. And also it would make more
Yeah.
sense, because then they're putting out the silk and then the product is revealed after that.
Yeah.
I think that would look better.
Okay.
Yeah, but they look great, these products. Okay, cool. And then next up we have this product
Another
placement as
product.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, that's in the shot. Again, really, really good lighting on the product placement. You did a really good job. Looks very natural, looks very realistic. If anything, you
Okay.
can only add to this. Maybe put some droplets of water falling down on the leaves, and maybe move them a little bit so that they would move a little bit. With the wind. It looks really nice. It's a bit
Okay.
noisy, but that's also easy to fix. Just more samples and. But you did really good job here. And did you
Thank
also
you.
model and did all of this?
Yeah. Just the product.
Just the product?
I.
Assets that you've got?
Yeah. Assets.
But you light them, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this Blender as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Blender.
Yeah, looks really great. And then you have this one on the forest. Again, looks really nice as well. So you have quite a few of them. Really like this wide angle one. That this one looks very naturalistic. The only thing that is making it a bit like the bottom half. Well, sorry, I'm gonna go first to the. They went a bit fast here. So this one here, this looks terrific. If anything, I would just say that once this has some water moving and the atmosphere moves a little bit, and this would look great as a shot.
Okay.
Now, this shot here, the entire half bottom looks very photoreal. The top doesn't as much. I think that has to do with the fact that the leaves here, they're not enough. They don't have enough detail, and they are a bit too opaque, and they're not. I just feel that this section here is not looking as real as the rest, but I really like your staging with the wide angle lens and everything. That looks really nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay. Thank you.
What's going on with this one?
So the same. I was just experimenting with different composition. So I modeled everything.
Yeah. This one is not working as well. Like the whole environment looks okay. I do think that you're missing a better depth of field, more lens artifacts. I just think it's looking too sharp. There's not enough depth of field going on from the tree on the back, the tree on the front, and on the front here as well. I think that would help your shot quite a lot.
Okay.
Having said that, the next one looks terrific. This shot looks great. So, did you do the whole thing? What did you do on this shot?
Yeah, I modeled everything except the character.
So the character, you got an asset and then you staged the character? Was that what you did?
Yeah, I got an asset and I rigged the character, and I used cloth simulation. I made that clothing in Marvelous Designer.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Again, great use of lighting. You are very talented in terms of lighting. It's really nice, very photographic, very cinematic. Great job. Like this looks terrific.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I really would advise you to focus more on lighting. Get yourself like a nice photography camera, take some more photos, get references, learn a bit of Nuke, evolve your lighting skills, especially by taking a lot of photography, take a lot of photos and develop your lighting skills, because you already have a very good grasp of lighting,
Sure.
Now, what's going on here with this wall?
So I tried to create, the effects.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So this shot is probably the one that looks more incomplete on your showreel.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things here missing. So first of all, let's start with the lighting. The particles are not lighting up the environment as they should. You should see more bounce light on the wall. You should also see more light on the bottom. Like for something so bright, it would effectively light up more the mural and light up more the floor. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is that your particles are too thin. You basically have dots instead of particles. So when you look at this effect on Marvel movies, usually it's sparks. You see motion blurred sparks. You don't see dots or bubbles. Right now, I think you should convert them to sparks instead. And then last but not least, the animation of the Spider-Man coming through is really stiff and not really working really well. And now when he lands, he doesn't look very natural. It looks like he's a bit deformed. So it doesn't look very realistic for this environment. Like this is a real shot. So I would expect him to have correct, like for him to be more normal and to not be so deformed and to be more realistic, So.
Okay.
And of course, motion blur on the particles as well. I definitely think this shot in him, Spider-Man needs motion blur as well. And also when he lands, I think there should be more interactive movement in where he lands. I definitely think from every shot I saw on your showreel so far, this one is the worst so far. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And so
No,
if
no,
you
no
can't
worries.
fix these things, I think you should
Yeah.
remove this shot because
Okay.
it's really not as good as the rest.
Okay. Sure.
And I think that in my opinion, people sometimes try to show too much. I understand what you're trying to do. You're showing lighting and modeling and particles, and you're trying to show everything you do. But be careful
Yeah.
because by doing that, you're showing your strongest thing, which is lighting, but you're showing your weaknesses as well, which is particles.
Yeah.
So be
Okay.
careful with that because one shot is enough for someone to why is this shot
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Maybe they switch off the reel or don't hire you. A lot of competition out there, so it's always best
Yeah.
for you to be on your top of your game.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with not being able to do a shot. You tried. If you can't
Yeah.
fix this, that's fine. It was an exercise of trying to do it.
Yeah.
Don't be
Okay.
ashamed of cutting it out if you can't get there.
Okay.
So, is this the last shot? No, it's not the last shot. No, it's not the last shot. So what's going on here with the spider? Tell us a little bit about that.
So this was made in Unreal Engine.
Ah, cool.
This was my
And
first render.
so assets are yours, or did you just use
No, no,
the
market,
marketplace?
the
And what about
pixel
the,
bridge.
what
Yeah.
about the serpent?
Yeah. Everything. So
Okay.
this was my first render in Unreal Engine.
Okay, cool. It looks nice. It looks nice, but it's not as well achieved as the other shots because obviously the marketplace, everything is already pre-made, so it's not
Yeah.
as impressive as the rest. But it is good to showcase that you have skills on Unreal. The I think staging is looking nice, lighting is looking nice. I do think that I'm not so sure I would do a camera movement like this. I think it's kind of like looking a bit strange what you've done here. Because you start with this lovely shot with the close up of the spider. Now the spider is not moving, so it looks a bit dead. That's one thing. Maybe, it should have a bit of movement on it. But then your camera movement is very stiff. It's like very
Mhm.
robotic moving out. I do think that it should start slowly and then going faster out. It should have a bit of a ramp speed on it. And then it should end also a little bit slower. So I think your camera move should be a bit smoother.
Mhm.
And you should start with the serpent, with the serpent, a bit more move, doing something. If you can't get it to move, maybe consider having a shorter camera move, and or maybe rotate around this, like just because right now this shot you're only showcasing that you know Unreal. You're not showcasing your modeling skills. You're not showcasing
Yeah.
your compositing skills. You're just showcasing, okay, I know Unreal. I know my way around it. So it kind of like it it doesn't really work really well when it's close up unless this serpent would look better. And also your flare
Okay.
doesn't make a lot of sense. This flare that you have here, why is this
Yeah.
flare happening? Because there's no sun here. There's like it doesn't make a lot of sense that you have a flare there. So I would take
Yeah.
out the flare. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely think that the camera also, besides being smoother, needs to be a bit more natural moving. So maybe try to look at
Mhm.
films and get a reference for the camera movement and then try to replicate that camera movement.
Okay. Okay.
Now, tell us a little bit about what's going on with this dude here.
So I saw a post in Pinterest. So I was really inspired by the artwork that the artist had made. So I tried to recreate it. It's like AI and tribe integrated sci-fi, something like that.
Okay. So I like it, but it's looks to me like it's incomplete. What are you trying to really showcase here? Are you trying to showcase your modeling skills? Are you trying to showcase animation? What are you trying to do?
So I didn't model the character.
Hmm.
So except the character, I modeled everything. I tried to animate a bit, in an organic way.
Okay.
So I tried animation.
Yeah, but the animation is a bit stiff. It doesn't look very natural. I think when you're doing stuff like this, you probably want to
Yeah.
focus your attention on making the modeling and make a good turntable of the model that you've done, show the typology of what you've modeled, and just forget about animation. Just leave the character on a pose, and he doesn't need to animate, he doesn't need to move, because you're showcasing your modeling skills and lighting skills, and your
Mm-hmm.
animation skills are a bit lacking. Again, like I
Yeah.
said, animation is a different beast. And so
Yeah.
I would advise you to either get someone to help you with animation or just don't put the animation in and just focus on
Okay.
getting a turntable and showcasing what you've done on the shot.
Okay.
And
Sure.
also, like, there's a lot of things that I would do here. I do think that you need to get something for this metal to look better, some imperfections on the metal, on the
Yeah.
gold, maybe a little scratches, maybe some printing, and
Yeah.
also, like people are saying on the chat, like Nub is saying on the chat, maybe get an HDR and add some more metal imperfections. I do think it needs that. It's a bit soft and a bit flat in terms of lighting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's it. That's the last shot. Look at that.
Yeah.
So to recap here, I think every shot here looks fantastic. I
Okay.
think the Spider-Man shot needs some work. If you
Mm-hmm.
can't do, you can always listen to this review again because it's going to be on
Yeah.
YouTube, and I'm going to put a chapter for your review, so you can always go back to your chapter. Um, if you can't fix those things we discussed on this shot of the Spider-Man, I think you should take it out if you can't fix it.
Okay.
I think then after that, I think the other ones, it would be really good for you to have a turntable and topology on this tank and add more detail. And then I think you
Okay.
should put some silk cloth here instead of this thick leather thing.
Okay.
And then I think also everything here is fine. I do think this particle thing needs a lot of work. So if you can't get it to work, you should remove it as well. If you can't do
Okay.
it, and then this needs a little bit of work, and then the end as well needs a bit of work. So your showreel is a bit incomplete right now, but it's definitely showcasing a lot of promise, and you're very talented. You should really be happy. This is a great showreel, and I can't, it's incredibly rare to see people that have good eye for lighting and composition, and you definitely have good eye for lighting and composition. So I would really advise you to forget about animation because that's a different world, it's a different beast. Focus
Okay.
in lighting and finishing shots, focusing bringing them to compositing and tweaking them. Just focus
Mm-hmm.
on lighting and rendering. Get yourself a nice camera, take photos, get references, and do more of that, because that's the
Okay.
strong side of your showreel. The weakness of your showreel is animation, and the weakness is also particle and simulations. I think either you become really good at that, or you should just maybe remove it from the showreel right now until you get better at that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your feedback,
no problem, no
your
problem.
advice.
I- is there anything else that you want to ask me or discuss or talk about?
Uh, Nothing much.
No?
No, I really want to thank you for your advice. No, that would really help me, in my initial stages.
Of course, no, of course. You're very welcome, and I hope it helped. I hope it was
Yeah.
beneficial, and I hope you didn't get too bogged down by the feedback. Trying to
No,
give
no,
you
no.
positive feedback and trying to help you as much as I can. But
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, stay strong because you're very talented, and you should continue. It's really good work that you have here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
So I'll let you go then, and have a great day. And I'll talk to you. You're always welcome, by the way. You can always come back if you want. You can always come back, and we can discuss your new showreel. You have my
Oh,
contact, so just
that would be
contact me
great.
next time. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, cool. Excellent. That was great. That was really cool. I'm really happy that we got to see that. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing the showreel. Really talented young man here. And okay, cool. So I have shared my. I'm gonna just do it again. So don't forget that we have the giveaway a bit later at the end of the stream. So I've posted like the link on the chat, but you also have the QR code here. We're gonna do another break. We're gonna have two breaks today because we have a third showreel to go through, and that will be the final showreel. So let's do a short break, 10 minutes again. Stretch your legs, drink some water, get out of your chair, and then we'll be back in exactly 10 minutes. And then we will continue doing showreels, and then we'll do the giveaway at the end. So talk to you all very soon. I'll see you very soon. Don't go anywhere, and I'll see you soon. Okay, we are back. Thank you so much for being here. And we're going to go for the last review of the day. Don't forget, I'm always reminding everyone, we are here every week. Next week, we're doing compositing, and then the week after, showreel reviews. That's what we do. Like, we stream every week, but we alternate between compositing and showreel reviews. Today is the real review, the honest showreel reviews, which we've been doing now since 2019. So no, 2000. I think I started in 2020. I need to go and check. I think the first time I did. Oh, sorry, I'm having a problem here with my recording. Not sure why. Oh, sorry. Just give me a second. Some kind of glitch that happened here on my recorder. It was blinking quite a lot here. Apologies for that. Like this thing here was like this red light here was like blur, blinking a lot, and that usually is a sign that the stream is going down, but it's good now, so I guess it's all good. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, this stream is of course sponsored by BenQ. Thank you so much, BenQ, for sponsoring the stream. As always, I'm so grateful for all the support they give me every year in and year out. It's great to have you on board on my channel. And also don't forget that we have a giveaway. I'll put the giveaway on the screen so that you can see it. So that's the giveaway. It's going to happen right at the end at the stream, so I'll just put it here. Yeah, and that's the giveaway for my Nuke course. Now, my Nuke course is currently 60% off, so if you are interested, it is 60% off right now. And that is the biggest discount we've ever had. Okay, just letting everyone know that we've never had such a big discount. So if you want to be part of my Nuke course, which is an evolving project, make sure you join now, because it is. And by the way, I'm going to put that one here. So that's my Nuke course. I have 2 Nuke courses. They're 60% off until the end of the month. And this is an evolving project. I have classes that I'm still delivering, and I have more workshops, and yeah, and then you get to join my wonderful Discord community as well, which we have over 2,000 students there. So join us, come and have fun with us. There's a lot of students on the chat here. Okay, and before we move on to the last review, just gonna again shout out the BenQ, which supported the channel so much. So I'm gonna just run their commercial one more time, and then we're gonna go in the final show review. So give me just 1 minute, I'll be right back. Apologies, for some reason we don't have sound there. Why is that? That's funny. Why is the sound off? Okay, maybe I won't do the commercial now because the sound for some reason is off. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. I don't really know why. So I've done the commercial already today, so never mind. So with that in mind, I would have to go and check why that happened. I have no idea what happened there. With that in mind, let's do the last review of the day. So hope they're here. They're waiting already for a while. Apologies for that. Let's see here how this works. Let's see here. So give me just 1 sec. I'm trying to have you here. Okay, so let's... yeah, I can see Luís is already here. Okay. Can you hear me, Luís?
Yeah, I can. Hey.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So before we start, let me just do this here. 1 second. Where is it? Share layout. Apologies, I'm just trying to have this. No, it's not here. So why is it not here? Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so for now, I'm gonna just share your showreel on the screen, and then I'll share it with you, okay? So so that you can see it. But for now, I'll just put it on the screen so for everyone to see it first, and then I'll share my screen so you can also see my own review. So Okay, and Luis, that's the last reel that you sent. Okay, so Luis, I'm assuming are you Portuguese or Brazilian?
Portuguese, Portuguese.
Okay, cool. I was
Yeah.
assuming that since your name could only be two things.
Yeah.
So apologies, we're not going to do this reel in Portuguese. This review.
Yeah, no
We could
problem.
have done it, but but then no one else would understand a thing of what we would say. So Luis, everyone is watching your show reel right now looping. So tell me a little
Okay.
bit about what's going on here. What is this show reel all about? And also give
Okay.
us a little bit of an introduction from you, where you're calling from, what you do, what's your
Okay.
experience. Give us a little bit of
Yeah.
a story.
So basically, I started off in actually computer science. I took my bachelor's degree, and then when I started the master's, I decided that it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I decided to drop everything about computer science and just go like 100% in CG, in VFX. While I was at university, I was messing around with Blender. So yeah, I already had some good bases, and I could think like I could make some money out of this. So yeah, I just went full CG. That reel is a compilation of like my best works from the past like 2 years, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I plan on being like a generalist. I kind of like doing everything inside the 3D world. The idea of like being like just a model, for example, doesn't really attract me much. Because I want to work like with a small team where everyone has like a vision, a shared vision on what they want to accomplish. So yeah, that's kind of my goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this reel that we have here, is this only personal work, or does it also include some professional work?
It's mainly personal work because I just worked at one job that it wasn't really what I wanted. It was like 3D motion design. You can see like some phones like going up, and there's another shot of like you can see some UI. That's from the company I was in, and the rest is personal work.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. So let's. I'm gonna share my screen with you so that you can see what I'm reviewing, and also that we can go through it together. So give me just 1 second, because I just need to make one quick adjustment here, because something crashed on my side. Give me 1 second. Sorry, apologies for that. There you go. So just like doing a small tweak here. Okay, cool. And I'm gonna share my screen now. Remember that the stream is very delayed, so don't worry about the stream. It's always going to be very, very delayed. So I'm gonna just share, yes, and share my screen here. Okay, hopefully you see my screen. Hopefully.
Yeah. It's all black right now, but
it's all black, right? So that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the problem I had last time. Just give me a second. Struggling a little bit with. I must be honest. I'm struggling a little bit with Google Meet for some reason. Not sure why. It's always worked, but it's always when we need it that it doesn't work. It's always like that. I think now you're gonna see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
Cool.
I do. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, it's, I guess, second time. You just have to switch it on and off again, and then it works. Okay, cool. So now everyone is seeing you, and they can also see. Oh, wait a minute. Why is this giving me yes? Okay. Everyone can see you and me and your work as well.
Nice.
That's what I wanted to try to do. Okay, and hopefully you can also. Now I have another problem. Because I've lost my. Apologies for that. I lost my Wacom, of course, because why not? Usually it's smoother than this, but it is a garbage truck on fire. This stream, so people are used to it, for sure. Okay, monitor 3. Yes, that's the one I want. Okay, cool. Excellent. Now it's working. So hopefully you see my mouse. Do you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to now share, and everyone now can see you and the screen. Now it's working. Because apologies, this was not working before. So now everything is working. So, okay, so Luis, you said you wanted to be a generalist, and so you don't have any professional work here. Are you currently looking for work? Are you still studying? What's going on there?
I'm looking for like some freelance opportunities, or
Okay.
even at a studio, doing VFX. Yeah.
And in Portugal, are you open to relocate or things like that?
As of now, I wanted to stay in Portugal, but I definitely want to try like going to London, go like try out the big studios, you know?
Yeah, of course. Cool, man. Okay, let's go through shot by shot. So, I've seen this shot before, by the way. So this is from a course, isn't it? Probably, isn't it?
Yeah, it's from a course. The original shot is with a Porsche.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was with a Porsche.
Yeah, someone came to this reel review and had a shot with a Porsche. That's right. So
really?
you put a GT. So
Yeah.
Did you model this or?
I modeled some things on the car. For example, it didn't have a license plate to begin with.
Cool.
And the logo was a bit different. I also did a little change on the headlights, on the rear lights, to make it glow like that. And yeah, but the rest was just an asset I found online.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
It looks great, but obviously, it's a shot that I've seen before, and I'm assuming the tutorial teaches you a bit of how to light it and shade it.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's not the kind of shot that would really impress probably a lot of people, because it's a shot that people have seen previously. Although I'm really glad that you've swapped the car. That's great. That's really good news, and it's really good that you've made it your own. Yeah. If anything, the only thing I would ask you is, like, did you also alter the lighting a bit, or is it the lighting that was on the tutorial as well?
The lighting, he gave the HDRI that he took like on spot. So it's kind of the same, but because the model was different, I had to do like a little like different touch-ups. For example, like on the front of the rear wheel, you see that kind of white glowy parts. That was like much whiter. I see. Like to begin with, so I had to put like a position bubble right there and grade it. Also, I had to do a different smoke because the original like didn't fit.
I see.
I had to simulate it with Houdini, and brought it to Blender.
So
yeah.
The advice I would give you to this shot looks great, and I think at first glance, you'll probably get the recruiter to send over this shot to the supervisor, and then you probably would even get an interview. But I would advise you to try to make it look a bit different from the original as much as you can. Just because, this is why, for example, as you probably know, I have a Nuke course, and I give a lot of assets on that Nuke course. But if there's one thing I don't do on the course, and people complain about that all the time, I don't composite the shots on the course. The reason I don't do that is because I show how everything is working, and I show how all the nodes work, and I show everything, and then it's up to the student to comp the shot. Because if I comp the shot on the course, people are just gonna use my tutorial and do a replication and copy
every single
exactly. And so I don't do that. My course does not have shots that are comped by me. I comp other shots and then give them other assets, and then people have to do their own version. I really believe that that's the way it should be done, online courses. Obviously, a lot of people complain about that, but I don't care. Like, they can complain as much as they can, but they need to know how to do the shots by themselves. And so, if I was you on this situation, I would pick up the HDR, because the HDR probably has a lot of latitude because it's an HDR. Maybe try to use a sunset, or try to do a more night shot, or try to change the lighting more radically. as much as you can, so that it looks different, so that no one recognizes the shot. And that also will, of course, give you other challenges, because if, for example, if it's at nighttime, then you'll probably have other things that you need to consider. And if it's at sunset, it will have yet other things to consider. And then it will bring your skill set into the shot, and then you'll have to do things to the shot, and then it will basically not be that shot from I think someone said it on the chat. It's from Andrew. It's from Kramer, right? This shot.
Andrew Henman, I think.
Yeah, Henman. Yeah, exactly. So it won't be from Andrew anymore. So that would be my advice to you. But having said that, Luís, please don't get me wrong. I think the shot looks great. The shot looks great. You did a good job. But try to put yourself into the shoes of supervisors that might be like me, that know the shot. And they might be, you just copied everything. Okay, even if you didn't copy, because maybe you didn't, I don't know, of course. But people will think that might be the case, So keep that in mind. Apart from that, I think it's a great shot. And I do like that you've put in a completely new car. That's a great way to do it. I like that you put in the smoke in the Houdini simulation. That's great as well. It's a nice touch. I mean, you're really definitely on the right track to put more stuff and new stuff on it,
Thank you.
Cool. Moving on. What's going on with the aircraft?
Okay. Yeah, so there was there's a shot that's after this one. Where I have the mountains. I was planning on doing I was practicing large scale environments. And I wanted to do like a James Bond kind of shot, where a plane goes by mountains. And while I was doing the shot, I kind of thought, why not just model the whole aircraft? So I did. It's a Pioneer. It's a Pioneer something. I don't remember the exact model. But yeah, it was modeled in Blender, textured in Substance Painter. And then the rest of the hangar was also modeled by me.
Cool.
Just as a way of previewing the model.
Now, I must say, this is not from a tutorial. This is your own doing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my own, yeah.
You should put this on the beginning of the reel, because the other shot is more known, Okay. This is exquisite work, by the way. Very good work that you've done on these 3 shots. I have notes, of course. I have stuff that I want to tell you. But this is definitely excellent work. There's, of course, things. We'll go through it in a minute. Especially your second shot. This shot looks almost photoreal. It's the almost that is missing, but it's almost photoreal, And then your first shot, where you're actually putting the asset that you've created in an environment, this is a fantastic idea. So this entire thing, I love this, and I think you should put it on the beginning, or at least before the other shot. We'll go through the other shots in a minute, obviously, because I do think going through the showreel, I kind of feel that that's the strongest thing you have on your showreel, so it should have definitely started with that. Now, it's not all, of course, good news. There's, of course, some notes. So, starting with some things, I think, and that's probably not possible, but you have a lot of noise and a lot of problems on the rendering, especially on the top area here. You have a lot of noise happening here on the cockpit. Extremely a lot of noise on the back there as well. So you might want to consider trying to bake the lighting on the background, or maybe using stills. You could, if you're having a lot of flickering like this. One trick that we do in cinema and film is that we render one still with baked lighting, and then we put it on geometry in Nuke, and then we project that frame, and then just have the camera movement. Okay. And obviously you're missing the reflections, but on a shot like this, you wouldn't necessarily have moving reflections anyway. And then that would make this noise disappear. That's a very common practice in... Obviously, that's option number 1. Option number 2 is just put so much sampling and so much quality that you might get rid of the noise, but that's going to, of course, increase your render time exponentially. That's problem number 1. Yeah.
I think the reason of the noise was because I used kind of low samples.
Yeah. Well, try higher samples and leave it over the weekend or a few days, or if you go on vacation, just leave it going and then come back when it's done. Hopefully your computer's not burned when you come back. And yeah, the same thing is with the cockpit. It's really distracting, all the bounce, GI lighting, flickering that you have there. So that's problem number one, which is fixable. Problem number two is your lighting. I'm assuming there's a open hanger on the other side, right? That's probably what it is. Why you have so much light here?
Actually, I don't think so. I think I put like an area light.
Because this looks like there's a door open, and that's why you have so much light. There's nothing wrong with overexposing. That's fine. I'm happy with overexposing things, and I'm actually think sometimes people are afraid of overexposing things. But I do think that your lighting here looks a tad unrealistic because it's very white, very undetailed. So let's imagine that there was an open hanger outside. You would probably have a mixture of white and blue light coming in from the sky of whatever was outside, and it would be more broken up than this. It wouldn't just be a white square, you know? So I feel like... But having said that, here's a question for you, Luís. Are you focusing primarily in modeling, or are you also interested in lighting? And that? Are you trying to showcase lighting as well?
I'm interested in lighting as well.
Okay, cool. So because if you were going to say modeling, then I wouldn't say anything else, you know, because it's already very good, and people of doing modeling, they don't have to necessarily do good shots in lighting. But if you are interested on being more general and doing those two things, then I do definitely think you should address this light.
Okay.
It could be because that aerial light is a white square. Now, if I was on set filming this, and I would try to pretend that there was an open door there, what we usually do on set is we have the light, which also would be a square, a huge square. We would break it up with these kind of, there's like these like squared cloth things that hang in front of the lights. And usually they're like ripped, like they're little pieces of ripped cloth, and we just put it on top of lights, and so that kind of diffuses and breaks up all the light.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you get like different pockets of light, and you know, so that would be one way of doing it. Or if you really want to do this on a more realistic way, maybe, you know, embrace this and put the door. Open door, and outside you could have a blue sky and the rest of the airfield, and that would be the natural light coming into the shot. That would be probably
makes
better
sense.
than having a box, you know. Yeah,
Makes sense.
and it doesn't even need to be that complex. It could be a really simple proxy geometry outside. You could just maybe just get an asset from an airfield, put it there, and put a nice sky, and that should be enough to reflect in that light in, you know. So, and those are the only two things I really would say. I think you did a fantastic job. Now, this plane, this is of course a creative thing. The plane looks incredibly clean, but I've also seen incredibly clean planes. You know, like if you go to a museum, it looks pristine. So, you know, it could be that. But the thing with this is that if it was a used plane, then probably it would have been a bit more dirtied up. So you would see more pockets of dirt and scratches and things going on the plane. But if it's a museum plane, then it's probably would be polished. So I guess this is a creative choice. Either way, I think it works. I think it's nice. So, you know. Now, you mentioned here that you composited this on After Effects. One thing I would advise you really, and I've advised this on the last review as well, if you are really want to be a lighter, if you're a modeler, that's fine. But if you want to be a lighter in a company, you need to use Nuke, and you need to like learn your way inside of Nuke, and don't care about the roto and keying and all that stuff. Just focus your attention in how to do depth of field in Nuke, motion blur in Nuke, how to layer 3D layers, and how to bring the AOVs and the passes and the cryptomats into Nuke and composite them. Because I do think that in Nuke you could solve a lot of these things. First of all, this lighting could have been broken up by the passes in Nuke, and you could reduce the exposure on it, and you could, because you have a huge latitude. In Nuke, you have 32-bit floats, so you have so much more dynamic range. You could probably fix those things. You could also have maybe some nice diffuse glowing going on these lights. Maybe some nice diffuse glowing happening on the surface of the plane. And also the depth of field could look a bit more realistic because you would get the more realistic bokehs and everything. So, and then you could add some lens distortion and some little grain. And I do think that inside of Nuke you could push this shot further, you know, and could be a good opportunity for you to learn Nuke, because every company, if they're gonna hire a lighting artist, they're gonna expect you to know Nuke, you know. Not in the like, you don't need to be an expert in Nuke. You just need to know your way around it, you know, how to load shots, do a few things. And because as a lighting artist, it's going to be expected you're going to deliver pre-composites to the compositing team, you know. So keep that in mind.
When I did this shot, it was like 1 year ago, and I didn't, I hadn't learned Nuke yet.
Cool.
So if it was now, I'd probably do what you told me.
Great opportunity for you to open the shot and redo it in Nuke, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's how when I started using Nuke in 97, I then spent like 9 years using Nuke, and then when I was about to switch to Shake and then to Nuke after that, it was hard for me because I started shooting shots in Nuke, and then because I didn't know what I was doing, I would always end up opening After Effects again. And then I would end up doing it in After Effects anyway. And then I would start another shot in Nuke and then on Shake, and then I would just open After Effects so much easier. So I kind of forced myself to break away from that by uninstalling After Effects from the computer and just forcing myself into using it. And then, you know, 17 years later, I'm still using Nuke. I still use After Effects, but for specific things, not for advanced CG compositing like this, you know. Cool.
The node system is much better for like from using After Effects. Like it's kind of complicated, like with all the layers, and have like a bunch of layers. You don't really know what's going on.
You get into you get into limitations very quickly. You know, that's really what happens with After Effects. Okay, so okay, so now. These are the problems that I can see. I really love that you put the topology. That's great that you're showing how you've modeled this. It's a quite simple piece of geometry, which is nice. It's really nice that you didn't overcomplicate it and you didn't use too much, you know, too much details. You actually made it quite simple, and it's going to be light because of that. So this is really nice, and really nice work in terms of the topology and the breakup of the geometry. Very excellent work. Now, this shot looks much better than the previous one. And it's because we don't see that big ass white box, you know. I think you see it a little bit here, but you kind of think, oh, maybe it's the windows open or something. This looks very nice. Excellent work. This shot is absolutely outstanding. It's really good. Very realistic, and it has some of the flicker and some of the noise problems, but you know, those are easy to fix. I think you just need to like go back and get more samples or try to re-render. I think the other shot, there's also another thing that I would advise you. On this shot, it wasn't so prevalent because you were looking mostly on the plane. I can also see the bars here, but now that you're looking from below, it would be nice if you could add more detail into these bars. These bars look very, very clean and very perfect. And they're getting that big ass white box is really reflecting a lot to them. I would really break them up with more dirt and maybe little parts of the metal that are becoming to be a bit more rusty and a bit more worn out, and maybe even like soldering sections. You know, maybe they soldered parts and fixed sections, and so you have a bit of more breakup. I think that would be nice. And also, someone is actually talking about that as well on the chat. Mikhail is saying something really cool here, which is definitely with this much brightness on here, you should have bounce of light wrapping coming out of this. So almost like the camera would get a bit of diffusing going into the wing here. There's a really nice tool in Nuke that does that called light wrap that you could use a cryptomat to cut the wing here, and then you could use the light wrap to just get the light wrap just to go to the top of the wing here. You know, you could do that.
Okay,
Now let's go to the actual shot, the environment shot. So the environment shot looks good, but it does have a few issues. Like once you get in out here, you do see a bit noisy, but I think I can forgive you because you know you're starting and it's a personal show reel. I do like the start, but I'm not entirely sure I would believe the plane would be so clean and so pretty and so pristine. You know, I feel like the plane does need more breakup with dirt and detail. It's getting a little bit tad overexposed, but you see here, like it's just so clean and so perfect. So I would definitely break up the plane, but it's a great looking shot. I like it a lot, and it's really cool that you've showed the plane first and then showed this. So this is it's a nice touch, you know.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So what's up with this shot? What's going on here?
This was inspired by Blur Studios trailer of Assassin's Creed.
Cool.
Where he just jumps out of a window and then like kills someone. Yeah, so I tried to do like an old room from like Italy or someplace like in Europe. Yeah, the hardest part was probably the character animation.
Yeah.
I just pulled like some reference from YouTube of someone doing parkour, and then I just freestyled the last part, the rotating part.
Yeah. It's really stiff, the animation. Like that is the bad part of your shot. Like I love the lighting, and I think the lighting, you did a great job, and also the modeling of this old house looks great. Also really like the idea of going out and breaking the window and going like this, but the animation, and I know you're not an animator, I guess the same advice would go for the last reel I reviewed. You shouldn't spread yourself too thin, you know, like you're trying to do modeling and lighting and animation and this, you're doing too many things. Animation is a skill of itself. Like it's very rare that someone animates and models and lights. That is incredibly rare. And animation requires so much dedication and so much effort that's why usually animators only do animation, because it's something that really takes a long time. So, of course, the way to solve that could be that you could have get like a motion capture of this, like you could get like a mocap version of this jump, and then maybe you could have finessed it. That's one way of doing it, but then you would need for someone to do this jump, and you needed like a mattress for the person to land. You would need it to do all those things. Failing that, I would really recommend you to maybe find a friend that is very good animator to do this for you. And then both shots could be displayed on your both show reels, you know.
Yeah,
so I just like we do on companies, there's always an animator, and the animators usually, man, I tell you, like, most of the animators I've met, most of the best animators that I've worked in my career, they know nothing about nothing else except animation. Like, they don't even know how to use Maya on other places. Like, they only know the animation section of Maya, just that. And some of them, I've worked with hyper Oscar-winning talented animators. They don't even know how to use a computer. They're animators, you know, and they just know that little section of Maya. Because it's such a broad thing. Animating something is really an art, and so that's definitely bringing a shot down. So try to find a friend or a colleague that is a good animator, get them to animate, and then you both have the shot for your reel. Do a collaboration to get that shot, because if you could have gotten a good animation on here, this shot would be exquisite if it had a good animation. It's really bringing it down. Now, obviously, if I'm showcasing this to get a job, you could just explain that on the interview oh, please be aware I'm not an animator. I don't know how to animate, so please disregard the animation. You know, so I think that would be the way I would approach this.
Okay, yeah.
But in that case, then I would definitely would like to see more of this room. Maybe try to consider having a different angle as well, an extra angle, or a turntable, because I would love to see this room more.
Okay,
and
yeah.
I can't really see it a lot, you know.
Actually, like I made on purpose, so like the right side of the room like isn't seen.
Yeah.
Because I didn't model that part.
Well, you could do a cut and just do a rotation half turntable around the section you've done, and then maybe just cut it. And just like a set, you know, like usually when we do a set on film, they're usually open so that they can put the camera in the crew. You could even do a little fun thing where you have the set and it's cut like a real set on on the filming, and then you could even have like some camera and some tripods outside, and it looks like that's like what they were filming. You know, that could be actually a fun thing that you could do. Yeah, so, yeah, again, the stiffness, the animation really needs a lot of work. Now, let's forget about the animation for a moment. I think you did a great job. The motion blur needs more samples, by the way. You can clearly see it here. It needs more sampling.
Yeah.
It's probably, you just need to, like, ramp up until you don't see lines. I'm assuming you have, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have, like, maybe 20. So for you to not see lines, you probably need to go all the way to 40 or 50. It's going to be slower, of course, but yeah, it looks great. It's a really, really nice shot, apart from the animation. And I like that you shot the cameraman. It's nice. It's like, okay.
It's the first time the cameraman dies.
Have you seen the behind the scenes of Born Supremacy, where they're jumping out of the window? So there's you see Matt Damon jumping out of the window, and then the shot is like he's jumping, and then the cameraman jumps with him, so he follows him. And so it's a beautiful shot because the cameraman is running with him on the back, and then he jumps with him. And then when you see the behind-the-scenes shots, the cameraman is like hanging on a wire. He's like almost dying himself just to do the shot.
That's crazy.
Okay, cool. Next up, so we have these pillow things, I guess.
So this one was it's a tutorial that's on YouTube.
Okay.
I was learning Houdini, but the thing is, I kind of forgot how to do the simulation in Houdini. So the things that I value most here is probably the lighting.
Yeah. It looks beautiful. So is this also from the tutorial, or is this your own lighting?
The lighting is my own, and the texture as well.
Okay, cool. I must say, man, this is exquisite work. It looks almost photoreal. The only lighting looks beautiful, and the pillows and the textures of them. I think the only thing really missing is that, and this is just like that 1% extra. You don't need to do it, but when you have these kind of pillow texturing thing, you normally have these things or they have little holes, and you can kind of like, it has breathing, you know, it has like some breath into them. You can kind of, usually the little textures usually have little bit of holes, and so I feel like they should be thinner, smaller, and have actually little small holes to see what's behind the other part. That's the only thing that is missing. But that's also depends on what kind of pillow it is. I mean, I'm gonna shut up because I think it looks great. I think this looks really good. And if this is your own lighting and your own texturing, I think you did a great job. You know.
Thank you.
If you want to add an extra layer of detail to this thing, if you want to, I would advise you to put like some lines of stitching around these little things. You know, because usually there is stitching in between, and that would give it a really nice touch with the stitching. You know.
Yeah.
So especially here, you see there should be stitching here on between these two materials, and there should be stitching here as well. Could be very subtle, could be really subtle, but just it will help the shot to look even more realistic. Really one thing I want to mention here, Nub here on the chat was mentioning something that he really has a good point. I would experiment with this shot, trying to get less motion blur going on, because it does look like it's a bit too much. So yeah, maybe think about that.
Okay.
And I do agree with Mikhail. I think with Nub, the glass break looks excellent. That's really well done.
Oh, thank you.
Really well done physics and really well done simulations that you've done there. Was that
Actually,
Blender as well?
No, it was Houdini, but I actually forgot to put on the softwares.
Yeah, that's right. You forgot to write there.
Yeah, I forgot to put
Yeah,
it.
make sure you do that, because Houdini is very hot right now. Like a lot of people, like companies are desperate to find good Houdini artists. So Houdini is experiencing the same thing we used to do with Nuke a couple of years ago, where everyone just wanted Nuke artists all the time.
Yeah, I definitely want to like dig in deeper in Houdini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it, and you'll get a lot of satisfaction and a lot of work from it, Okay, cool. So now you have an espresso machine, because of course you do, because you're Portuguese, of course. Of course, I just had an espresso just now. I have an espresso machine downstairs, because the coffee in UK is absolutely horrendous, because it's burn. As a Portuguese, you'll know what I mean. They have their machines with too much pressure, so it burns the coffee. They don't know how to do. They don't know how to do espressos. So I had to buy a machine.
I haven't tried
myself.
coffee in London.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrendous. Except if you go to a Portuguese shop or an Italian. If you go to an Italian coffee shop, then you're fine. Anyway, that was the moment of coffee of the showreel. I love coffee. I absolutely love coffee. So tell me a little bit about this. What's happening here?
So the final. It was a project from this course I took in CGMA.
Okay.
It was an introduction to production modeling, and we kind of had to choose some random object to model, and I chose this one and some other scooter thing that isn't on a reel. But yeah, this was the end product. It was done in Blender. It was rendered in Maya.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of running away from Maya. And it was textured in Painter, in Substance Painter.
It's very good work. And I know a lot of people will say, like, oh, but it's just a coffee machine. It's not exciting. But I think it's exquisite work. It's very realistic. It looks great. I love your breakup of the model, my machine has this, the typical kind of like, it's not rust, but it's like this kind of, I don't know what the name of this is. Like, it's something that starts to happen in the chrome. Like, yeah, exactly. That looks lovely. Exactly. I really love that you've done this, because a lot of people really underestimate the power of just making objects, because a majority of modeling artists or just making mundane objects. Most people working in film and working in commercials, more than 80% of their time is doing cell phones, coffee machines, chairs, tables, just the most mundane shit. And and never underestimate how difficult it is to do mundane shit, because they're real and people know how they look. And so your brain knows how it should look, and so it's much harder to do a regular object like a coffee machine or a Canon 5D or a keyboard or anything that people know very well. It's much harder to do, because you need to nail it completely, otherwise people are going to recognize.
The textures have to be like on point.
Exactly. And you really did that. And it's true, because it's so much easier if you do a dragon or a spaceship or something futuristic. No one knows how it looks, so it's like, okay, it's fine. You can get away with so much more. I'll never forget what I years ago, I was working at Nexus Productions in London, and the CG supervisor, the head of CG there, we were reviewing some showreels, going through the work of people applying to the company. And you get like the dragon and the tank and the all those kind of things, and the machine gun and the weapons and explosions, and then he would always tell me the same thing. He would always say, I'm gonna hire the person that does a showreel of the most mundane, boring shit that I've ever seen in my life. Like, I just want to see a phone. I want to see a camera. I want to see a car, like a car that exists. You know, a washing machine. I want to see those things because that's what they end up doing all the time. You know, so well done, well done. This is very good work, and it looks very realistic as well. I love your metal brush and the little details of the breakup of the texturing. It looks very well made. Topology also looks very simple and light as well, which is good. Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Okay, compositing in Nuke. Tell me a little bit about what's going on here.
So this was a course I took in Domestica.
Cool.
It was from like this guy that worked in a Spanish studio. This was a shot from. It says over there the name of the show.
Yeah, Tudo por jogo. Okay.
Yeah, so he goes through like the composing of the crowd, and also changing the logos there on the sign.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, and it goes through like 3D camera tracking, rotoscoping, matching the vignettes, the blur around.
And did you just follow the tutorial, or do you feel like you've done it yourself, or is it like a replica of the tutorial?
I kind of like to just watch the whole thing and then like do it by myself.
Cool.
And when I have some doubt of how should I do this or that, I go back to the class just to rewatch that part.
Cool.
For example, the signs were some other signs I took from Google. And I did some things different, like the grading. Honestly, I didn't even look at the tutorials grading because I did this one after another Nuke course I took. So I just kind of knew more or less what to do.
Cool.
The blacks matching and all of that.
Yeah. It looks great. I think it looks great. You did a good job. And I'm glad that you're mentioning this. I'm glad you're being honest about it, and definitely make sure you say that on the interview, because they might know this shot, you know.
Yeah.
And that goes without saying. As soon as you start working, the first thing you should start to do on your showreel is to remove anything that is from a tutorial. That's the first thing you should do. And just leave the stuff that you did yourself, you know, like anything that can be tracked to a shot that someone else knows how to do would be the first ones that you should remove your showreel once you have more work, you know. Not now, but once you have more work and more shots to put in, you know. Yeah. Okay, cool. What's going on here? Cinema 4D, so you have some motion graphics going on?
Yeah, this is from that company I was talking about. It was for this event in Portugal. So what I did here was just the phone texturing and animation and rendering. We used Cinema 4D Lite so that the motion graphics team could work on the 3D parts as well, like in case they needed to. So yeah, that's why I was in Cinema 4D Lite, because it's linked to After Effects.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
This was more to show like that I have some work experience. It's not like something that I want to do, you know.
No, of course. No, that's really good. I mean, I really don't have much to say. It's a motion graphic piece. It's what it is what it is. But definitely, if it's real work, you should definitely put it in the showreel for sure, because it's different from having just personal work. You know, I think from a technical point of view, the only thing I could tell you is that there is something strange going on with the edges. Like there's some kind of breakup going on with the edges of your phone, which I'm not sure what's going on there.
I tried to change that in Cinema 4D. I think it's something with the rendering. I tried to put like the best resolution. That's like the best it came out. So we just kind of rolled with it.
Yeah, it kind of looks to me like you have some kind of like sampling issues, and also like there's some kind of geometry glitch going on here as well, which I'm not sure what that is.
It's true.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the first time I'm noticing that.
Yeah. So this is easy to fix with paint. Like you could, a lot of times we have these kind of glitches and we just paint them in Nuke. You know, you don't necessarily have to go in and render it again. But the reason I was mentioning the edges is because if you look at your motion graphics, they don't have those issues. So it's definitely, like you said, it's definitely from the CG for sure. Okay, cool. And then after that, we have this shot here, which is very well known from the web. Again, I think you did a good job. It's very, very well known, this shot. So again, I definitely would remove it from the showreel as soon as you can. Once you have more work, because this is so repetitive. This shot is so repetitive. You don't even imagine how many times I've reviewed this shot on the show here. So
it's more to show that that I got some keying experience, you know.
But be careful with this, because if you want to be a modeler and a lighting artist, you shouldn't care about keying. You shouldn't waste your time with it. And I understand you're trying to show that, but being a good keyer and a roto artist requires really huge talent and really a lot of skill. I mean, having said that, you did a good job with the keying and the roto there. You know, I think you did a good job. I mean, there's a little few sharp edges, and the hair is not transparent enough. You're losing some of the details, so just be careful with that, because keying is another beast. It's like the animation thing. Don't spread yourself too thin, you know. Try to focus in one and just the thing that you're really good. And looking at your showreel, especially because of the hangar and the airplane shots, I definitely think you're a very talented modeling lighting artist. You know, you're very good at that. The compositing thing, you shouldn't really showcase as a composer, because that requires other skills and other things that you need to show on your showreel, you know. Okay, so then we have the phone here with tracking comp, Blender, and After Effects.
Yeah, that was also for the company I was working at.
Cool.
Yeah.
It looks quite nice. I think you did a good job with the roto. Looks nice. You have a nice. The only thing I would say is that I think if the screen would be so bright, I would see some light wrapping coming through the finger, probably. That's the only thing that I would have to say. In terms of tracking, I think you did a good job. I don't really see it moving. And then it fits in. Yeah, it's just really the lighting. A phone this bright would definitely light up the hands here, the fingers, and also that finger. You would get a bit of bounce light here as well, so on the finger. So you're just missing that. I'm assuming they filmed this black, right?
Actually, I think it was a white screen, actually.
A white? Okay.
With some trackers.
Okay. Then it's probably the garage is so bright that it doesn't even catch it up.
Probably,
could be that. Yeah. You're probably right. Yeah, I mean, just follow the plate. If you have a plate, then just follow whatever is there. And I think it's only really the light wrapping of the finger on the front that I think you could do. Then you have some motion graphics here, which are really cool as well. And then you finish with this. Now, this is cool, but it's very... I understand that this is just an outro that you've done here. But the simulation is really, really low quality and low sampling. So, which is a shame. It's a really nice shot.
That shot was from the first Blender project I did. It was like a little short film. So, yeah, I only knew how to do Blender. So the simulation is
But you're saying that you wanted to do more Houdini, didn't you?
But that one was from 2 years ago.
Yeah, but maybe consider completely redoing it from scratch in Houdini, you know, with what you know now, and just the same concept, you know. I don't even know if you have the same assets, but these are not hard assets to find anyway, you know. So it's quite easy to find a street and just a car and And when you do this, if you want to make it more realistic, make sure you break up the parking slots with tire marks, you know, so that they look like there's cars that moved in and out of the parking places. Usually when you go to a parking slot, if you go to a big supermarket, you know, if you go to Continente or Jumbo or any of those, you'll see huge pockets of oil, scratched parts and sections that are blacked with the tire marks. You just see it all dirty all the time. So try to put that into your texturing, and then also on the car itself, you should already have a tire mark, because let's imagine that he's been doing this for a while already, and so there's already a tire mark that he's already done there, you know. So
Yeah.
if you redo this, like, just consider those things, you know. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice looking shot. It just needs more quality and a bit more work. Yeah. Now, if you end up doing the shot again, be sure not to put the title after, so the shot would be alone, and then you put the names and the titles after, you know. So, cool, man. This is great work. Like, I commend you. Like, you did a great job. It's definitely looking great. You're very talented. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here for a second. Tell me, like, before we go, anything else that you would like to ask, or anything else that you would like to know or to discuss before we wrap up?
Actually, I just had like a little question about the course, because I bought the course like some days ago.
Okay, cool.
Well,
thank you so much for buying it.
The thing is, yeah, no problem. It's a great course. I've binge watched some classes. Like I think the main thing that I feel like it's missing is how to turn like a CG render, a full CG render, into something like beautiful, like with with like the lens effects, with the lens flares.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, like, how can I learn how to like make the CG like look beautiful, like photorealistic?
So there's two ways you could do that. Well, of course, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there as well, but I'm gonna just like advise you what I know. First of all, like every 2 weeks, I do these streams which are called Nuke Disconstructs. Now, I did it last week and I'm doing it next week. So every 2 weeks, like every week, I'm streaming and alternate with showreel reviews and Nuke compositing. So next week it's going to be Nuke, and then the week after is going to be showreels. On those disconstructions, we open real shots and from productions that I've done in the past, and we go through in quite large detail how we did certain things like lens distortions and flares and chromatic aberrations, little things. Now, I've just started redoing this. I have some on my YouTube channel, but the disconstructions, but I've just started 3 weeks ago to start my streams again. So I'm on episode 3. You can rewatch some of those episodes. I have chapters. You can go and follow the chapters and the topics you want to learn. I'm going to do one again next week. And the next shot I'm going to do on that stream is going to be like a shot where we have footage and CG blended in together. So that's one way of doing it. You can join my streams and we can chat about it. You can ask questions on the chat and everything. Yeah. Always feel free to contact me on Discord, because you're a student of mine. I always try to answer everyone on Discord, so just contact me there. We can always jump into a call. I can give you some advice. We can go through things if you want to. As a student, you can do that.
Okay, perfect.
Now, if you want to go deeper, I have another course, which is the workshops, and the workshops go into detail of those kind of things, but they're not done. The course is not finished. So that course, the workshops, is only half of it done. So only half of the classes have been released, but they go into those kind of things. If you're interested on that course, just contact me as well. And because as a student, I can give you a discount as a student as well. So, but maybe start with my streams, and next week on Thursday I'll be here and I'll continue the streams and maybe go back into my older streams as well, because I go through, especially the ones called disconstruction. That's the ones that I disconstruct the production shots that we've done.
Okay.
So nice. I have a playlist called Disconstructions. You can go there and have a look.
Okay, I will. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, man. Cool. Okay, that's it, Luís.
That's it.
Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you for your time.
Coming, and I'll talk to you later. You always can contact me on Discord if you want. Don't worry. Don't be shy. And I'll thank you so much for sharing your showreel.
Thank you for reviewing and for the feedback. Yeah.
See you later. Bye.
Ciao.
Okay, cool. This is excellent. So, okay, we're done. Look at that. We're done. So, thank you so much, Luís, and thank you so much to everyone that joined today. Thank you so much, Moises. Thank you so much, Seenu, as well, and Luís. It was great to see your work. It was great to go through all these shots. And as you know, we're now going to do the giveaway. The giveaway is going to be done now. I have I've been posting the link on the chat. You can go through this. Also, don't forget that if you don't get the Nuke course now for free, you can always go and buy it. I have both my courses, both the Nuke course and the workshops are both 60% off right now. So the workshops is what I was telling Luís, that go into more details of those things. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm going to now just do the giveaway, and then wrap up this stream. So let's do this now. So we have 68 entries on the giveaway, which is great. Look at that. And let's roll the dice. Now, don't forget that we are back next Thursday. Next Thursday, we are going to continue the Nuke disc constructions. And then if you want to do a showreel review, come back the week after that. So every 2 weeks. So next week, it will be the Nuke disc constructions. So I'm going to continue constructing the CG shot I'm doing right now. And then I'm going to start a new shot as well. So let's roll the dice here and see who won. Let's see here. So see who won, and hopefully they're here, and then they can get the prize, and then we can go. Okay, so let's see here. So winner is okay. So I have a winner here. Hopefully they are here. So thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much for enjoying the session. I much appreciated all the nice. Oh, thank you so much for saying all that. That's really kind of you. While I'm rolling the dice for the winner, don't forget that both my courses are 60% off. Winner of my Nuke course is. Just gonna see here if I can put your name here. I'm gonna copy it exactly as it is on the link. Okay, so winner of the course is Habram Amjed. Abram Hamed. I think that's how I say Habram Amjed. Congratulations, you've just won my Nuke course. So for those of you that didn't win the Nuke course, you can always buy the Nuke course on the link that is on the screen right now. 60% off right now. It's the cheapest that it's ever been. And congratulations. Are you here, Habram? I hope you're here. Are you here? Yes, you are. I can see you. Congratulations, my friend. You've won my Nuke course. Congratulations. Well done. And thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much to everyone watching. We had 480 people watching today. That's great. I'm so thankful for everyone that watches my streams. You can't. It is such a awesome thing that you are here supporting my stream. Thank you so much. I couldn't be happier for that. So thank you so much for doing that. And yeah. I think we're gonna go then. I'm gonna just say goodbye. So, goodbye, everyone. Have a great day. Don't forget to come back in 2 weeks. Sorry, in 2 weeks we'll have showreel reviews. Next week it's Nuke composting. So, Nuke composting next week. Show reviews the week after that. I'll see you all very soon. Hope you have a great time.